Rainollon here. Today is yet again another build showcase, and it's Spinnerex. Today I'm going to show you two builds, so let us immediately start. The first setup is the Affliction setup. The mods I'm using here, I'm using Galvanized Steel for critical chance and critical damage, Galvanized Elementalist for stash damage and stash chance, Berserker's Fury for attack speed, Weeping Wounds for stash chance per combo multiplier at max stacks, which is 12x, that's 440. Same thing with Blood Rush, giving you 440 critical chance at max combo. Prime Fever Strike for Toxin, Prime Reach for range, and Prime Pressure Point for melee damage. That's it, those are the mods. For the Arcane Melee Affliction, what it does, enemies that is affected by a status effect gain 6 additional stacks when they are knocked down or flung. This stance here allows you to flung enemies constantly, so this is quite nice. You can proc 7 additional Toxin procs, quite nice. The passive is quite interesting. On death, enemies have a 10% chance to burst for each stack of Toxin. Status effect applied to them, spreading Toxin damage. So what this does is, the more Toxin you have on enemies, they have a higher chance to explode in a 8 to 10 meter radius, does Toxin damage, and it scales really well, surprisingly. That's the passive. For the stats, the attack speed is very fast, range is pretty solid, the follow through is bad, rivet position is bad, critical chance is good, critical damage is pretty solid, stash chance isn't half bad, total damage isn't half bad, it only has one element, and that's it. Those are the stats, the passive, the mods, the arcane, and it's time for me to show you the second setup. For the second setup, this is the Melee Influence setup. The mods here all be exactly the same except for the Arcane. Melee Influence, Electricity Status Effect, there's a 20% chance for Elemental Status Effect to apply to enemies within 20 meters for 18 seconds. This is quite good. If you use Vault's first ability, which is Shock, with a augment called Shock Trooper, you can give yourself a separate electricity damage, allowing yourself to utilize this weapon, the passive, Toxin, and electricity, spreading it, and you can, of course, detonate the passive with influence, which is quite good. 2 layers of clear, really nice. And that's it, that's the arcane stats here, all the same passive, same mods, and now it's time for me to show you against the units. Alright, let's start. I'm going to spawn level 205, Steel Path, Orc and Better Group Dudes. No buffs armor strip, this is the Affliction setup. So you won't do much at the beginning, but once you get some stacks, get some combo, you're going to see, you see those explosions, those green explosions? That's the passive. The passive helps, which is quite nice. Oof. Especially against like infested enemies and Corpus. It's pretty like solid. Let me show you against Corpus. It's much better. Corpus enemies, Corpus despise Toxin, it bypasses their shield. There it is. Look at those explosions. So nice. Against Corpus, it's really good. But yeah, that's the first setup. The Affliction. You've constantly flung enemies just by holding E. And that synergies really well with the Affliction. Now for the second setup. The Influence. So, like I said, Shock, which is Volt's first ability. It's also the Helmet ability. You can put it on any Warframe you like. If you use Shock Trooper, which is an augment, you can hold the first ability, and you give yourself electricity damage. Right here. Here it is. That doesn't combine with Toxin. So you're going to proc both Toxin and electricity, which is quite nice, and you can detonate the passive. So once I hold this, start attacking, start influence proccing. Come on, there it is, influence. It's spreading the Toxin, you can see the explosions are constantly detonating. It's so good, man. It's so good. The passive is so nice. It's not like a meta weapon, a busted weapon, an OP weapon. It's like, I will say average. Nothing special. But the passive makes it like unique. So there's a purpose to use this. It does something that not a single melee has. You know? Oof. Look at those explosions. Oof. So cool. But yeah, those are the two builds. It's time for me to show you against the Steel Path enemies, and I will use the Influence setup with Volt. So let's go. And we are in. I'm up against the Corruptness at the Void, Steel Path of course, it's survival, the map's called mod. I'm going to show you this build here. This is the Influence setup, Shock Trooper. As you can see, I'm constantly spreading Toxin, electricity, constantly detonating this. Oof. That is going to die over there, explosions over there, explosions over here. Oh, so cool. Let me use my second ability. Maybe it's overkill, but hey. Spreading over there as well. Let me just go over here. You just see numbers. I know influence, but it cinches really well with influence. It's like really, really good with influence. Your clear is like doubled. Such a cool passive. It helps influence really well. It only has like one element. I know it's not the greatest as a single target. The clear is like fine. But if you want to add like more power to it, use like an elemental Warframe that gives it like more elements. You can use like Seren, Toxin Lash will make this even stronger. You can use Shock Trooper with influence. Your first ability, Venom Dose, gives you corrosion, so you have like 2 additional elements. The AoE doesn't work with Condition Overload. It doesn't. It works only with direct hits. So Pressure Point is always going to be the best if you want to use it as a clear. But for single target, Condition Overload it will be, of course, better. Reactivate my first ability. It's clearing. I like it. Alright, here now. Oof. What else works well with this? Rhino Roar, of course. Rhino Roar. I mean, Volt. This is Volt's ability, so you can technically utilize Rhino Roar, Volt, remove the 4th ability, Rhino Roar, Precision Intensify, butt the hell out of it. Use Shocker Trooper and you will scale the Toxin and Electricity really high. Direct hits will be stronger, the dots will be stronger. It detonates really nice. Give me more Corpus enemies, please. Let me use Nourish now. This is going to spread Nourish, Toxin and Electricity. So it might make the clear much stronger. Oof. Yep, it is stronger. The viral is making the Toxin proc stronger and Electricity procs. Another one. Another one. Where's the... Oh, never mind. I was about to say, where's the Acolyte? Here he is. So the single target, like I said, won't be huge. There we go. Let me just reuse my abilities. And that's the Acolyte. There we go. Nothing mind-blowing. But yeah, it works. There you go. That's the weapon. That's the build. Now let me extract. And be right back. There you go. I hope you guys enjoyed the whipping. The whip itself isn't that bad at all. I think MR wise and how you get it and the amount of form I used, it can absolutely do most of the content. Single target, not the greatest. Of course, it's only focused on clear. Whips did get nerfed heavily years ago. They're still like in a really bad spot. But this one is kind of usable with influence and spreading the toxin and all that stuff with a passive. So yeah, that's the weapon. Those are the builds. I hope you enjoyed the builds. Thank you yet again everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and of course, see you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.